ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Pro and Bro Wrestling Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Arnold Telegaarda.
Ooh, I'm the accomplished one, baby. I feel accomplished because wrestling this weekend, podcasting on a Monday, man, I feel accomplished.
It's been a productive week for you, man. You were wiped out.
Wiped out. I feel great, though. I had the opportunity to wrestle at More Wrestling.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I was in there with James Storm.
Nice.
I was in there with Brian Cage, OGs.
Yes.
And me, 17 plus years in the business, I still get nervous, man.
Oh.
I still get nervous. And these guys, when they when we orchestrate a match, they kind of talk kind of fast. So I'm like, ho, guys, let me digest this a little bit.
Yeah.
So in the wrestling world, when these guys with experience, when they go over stuff, it's almost like, all right, shoot you off, duck one, drop down, throw one, this, that. And it's so quick. I'm like, ho, let me just break it down. So we went probably 15 plus minutes, and it was a treat, man. It was a treat.
Awesome.
Once I hit the curtain, I was on, and whether it's in front of a couple hundred people or a couple thousand people, it's still fun to me. I feel like I age gracefully with time.
Yes.
I look good. I feel good. I move good. Just a compliment thrown at me left and right. Man, this is your first time back in the ring in 2019? Yeah, I mean, not by choice. I've just been busy with other projects.
Sure.
But it seems like this fall, I've been more busy with shows, going from having no shows to probably 10 to 12 shows that I can think of. So,
well, that's good that you're nervous because it shows that you care.
Yeah,
and that
man.
You're still passionate about it. Once you do something, it doesn't give you butterflies anymore. It just becomes robotic.
Exactly. And like I tell people, I don't give you half of me, I give you all of me.
Yes.
So it was a night off with those guys. It turned out great. I meet more fans in the LGBTQ community in the South than I do anywhere.
Wow,
man.
that's surprising. Really?
Yeah,
in
man.
the South?
At least six. At least six that came out to see me. One fan in particular flew out by himself from Ohio to North Carolina. And like by himself to see me.
That's dope.
And he had an action figure. I signed it.
Which one? Which version action figure? Do you remember?
The one with Gabriel.
Oh, when you had the spiky hair?
Oh, damn it, man. Was it? No, it was.
You had a 2-pack with Justin Gabriel.
Yeah, maybe it was that one.
Okay.
I feel bad not remembering, but it could have been either that one or obviously the one with Titus.
Right.
But like I said, man, it's just for him to fly out by himself to see me, it means a lot. So I stole your line. He's not my fan. He's my fam.
Yeah.
So we took a money shot, and he's part of my family now.
Yeah.
So he's like a traveling nurse.
That's awesome.
So he wants to make moves out in L.A. I said, well, you got to make moves out in L.A. I'm holding you accountable. Get your ass out here and do your thing. Some of my fun experiences were traveling from. We stayed in Wilmington, North Carolina, and the show was about an hour away. So when I got in Friday night, Saturday afternoon, we got bused to the show, and it was like me and Chavo Guerrero and like Shane Douglas, like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I became even more tight with Terry Runnels, man. I mean, like.
Oh, she was there?
So tight that we got in Friday night. We kind of all ran into each other in the lobby area. People were going out to drink, and I'm not about that life. And I was telling people, I'm not. I don't drink anymore. Oh well, come down and have this, have that, whatever, like soda water or something. But I said, no, I don't want to do that. But Terry was like, oh, come to my room and like we can talk because she's a big supporter of the LGBTQ family. Nice. So she's like every birthday she goes to New York and celebrates her birthday with the LGBTQ community. She's got a lot of friends and stuff like that. And I actually went to a room and we just talked for like hours, man.
Damn.
Maybe like 2 hours. I said, all right, I got to go to bed because I want to be up and go to the gym. I want to get moving. But bro, it's just like she had me dying laughing. She listened to me. She just wanted to pretty much hear my story because when we do these signings or these shows, we don't have a lot of time to talk to each other because we were all doing our thing.
Yeah.
And she was just wanting to get to know more about me. And the last time I ran into her was like one of the WrestleManias, and she knew who I was. A couple of WrestleManias ago, Terry Runnels had ran into me. She knew who I was. Yeah. And I think it was the year that Victoria got inducted. Who got inducted?
Jacqueline?
Oh, probably Jacqueline. They were all there. A lot of and Victoria was at the show too. She was always one of my favorite divas.
Or
too.
Ivory, maybe, huh?
Oh yeah, Ivory, one of them.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but yeah, Terry was just so nice to me, and we didn't get to talk much, but at this show in North Carolina, she wanted to get to hear my story, and I got to hear her story too, man, even more.
Wow.
Like some of the stuff she was telling me, I had no idea.
I bet.
I had no idea that she dated New Jack. Like, I don't remember. Like, she was asking me, oh, you probably heard my story with, I don't want to mention his name. I said, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So she gets a lot of slack, and she gets people just don't know her, you know.
Yeah.
So she was just very cool to talk to. I got to share my story with her, and she told me flat out she grew up in an area where she had a black friend come over the house, and then once her friend left, her family had a family meeting, and the family said we don't do that around here.
Damn.
So I'm like, wow, like that, and she doesn't see color, Terry. So it's just like, I felt for her. She told me her experiences with Dustin and how like because I told her with my ex Nikki of almost 5 years, I say if The Rock and his ex-wife Dana Garcia, if they can still work together, then me and Nikki can still be cordial, and he can still help me out with speaking points and talking points. But oh wait, where was I going?
Her with Dustin, maybe?
Oh yeah, so she just wants to be cordial with Dustin, but I don't think I think Dustin just wants to just leave it be. But you know, they still have a kid together and stuff like that. And like, you know, I told Terry, you know, I love Goldie, so I said I'm not picking a side with anyone. Of course. I love Goldie, you know. I love her now for being so supportive and stuff like that. Yeah. So she just wants to just get along with everyone. So
which is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So I don't know what's I don't get involved. But like I said, to just be able to hang out with her in her room and to see how she's very OCD like me. Like, like we met in the lobby, then we met back up in her room like 20 minutes later. She had everything laid out for the next day. I said, I do the same thing, you know?
I do that too, man.
So I don't have to worry about anything. Everything was very organized. And we just talked for like at least 2 hours, and I said I have to go to bed.
I'm tapping out, man.
I have to go to bed.
Past my bedtime.
But she had to go to bed too. But and then
that's great.
And like just fast forward to that afternoon with that evening with Chavo. He was also my coach on
NXT.
On NXT.
That's right.
The second the Redemption with Titus.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. Was he? See, I'm forgetting my own shit. But he was my coach. It was CM Punk was the first guy. And then Chavo, because NXT Redemption. I was thinking JTG, but I think we just teamed. JTG and I just teamed, but...
I remember you did a promo on NXT with Chavo, and you were like, I got a Guerrero in my corner.
yes. And I tried to, like, roll my R's. I can't do that shit.
Guerrero.
Yeah, see, you can do it.
Yeah.
And, like, Chavo was on the bus with me, and he was like, he remembered my first time... my first skit with WWE was as a detective.
Wow, that's great.
And I can't believe that he remembered. I said Chavo, that was my first ever skit with WWE. First time ever. I was just thrown into it. And he remembered that I was nervous and like Vince wasn't liking the detective. He remembered and I'm just like dying laughing.
Wow.
And then he remembered Eddie talking to me. Like Eddie saying, "Oh, Holmes, take it easy, you know, you got this," like calming me down. So it just lit me.
I'm getting chills.
Yeah,
dude.
it just lit me up.
Yeah.
So Chavo and I were just vibing together. We were definitely vibing over the good medicine, if you know what I mean.
Oh, sure.
We're big fans of the CBD and all that other good stuff. And we were just vibing. I was vibing with Larry Zbyszko.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a funny guy. He is... I can't. I'm so happy that I was paired up with him at More Wrestling.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing meet and greets, and I was paired up with him at the table. And I didn't think he would know who I was, but I can't stand. I don't care if you're a veteran or a smart mark. I can't stand when people like him said. You know, I don't know why they paired you up with, and this is him talking. You know how he talks.
Yeah.
I don't know why they paired you up with Bob Backlund. I said, no, they didn't pair me up with him. It was my idea.
Yeah.
I said, I brought it. He's like, oh, he's a little wacky. I said, no, I know he's wacky, but between, I told him the story. I said, I know tag teams don't last forever, and I've done appearances with him where he's energetic, I'm energetic, and when the cameras are off, we're just like talking like normal people.
Sure,
but when the camera's on,
volume
the volume up, and hey, he's unpredictable.
Yeah.
You know, when I won that battle royal, I said, Bob, when I win, this was planned. I said, when I win, pick me up and celebrate with me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I didn't know what he was gonna do before that or after that,
yeah.
but he knew to pick me up and celebrate with me,
Yeah.
and show his strength.
Yeah.
And then when we came to the back, Vince McMahon was like, "Oh, was that planned?" I said, "No, that wasn't planned. I don't know. That just what happened because they want to be very careful because Bob is a lot older.
Of course.
They don't want him to hurt himself."
Yeah.
But I told him this was my idea, and I proposed it to Vince McMahon, and he went with it. It's just unfortunate the people under me didn't have my back. But Larry Zbyszko is a big fan of like character development.
Sure.
So I told him my experiences with working William Regal.
Yes.
First time I worked him, he ate me up and spit me out. Like I didn't know how to fight back, and then the second time around, third time, fourth time around, I knew to fight back.
Yeah.
We worked a lot on live events. This is like stuff that, you know, the world would never see, just the people in attendance, you know?
Yeah,
And I learned over the course that you have to fight back. He treats it like it's real. He's not looking to hurt you, but you have to make it, there's got to be some kind of resistance, you know?
Yeah. You got to like work up to his level.
Yeah. And the first time he ate me up, and Larry Zbyszko was saying that that's a character right there, William Regal.
Yes.
And he was, if you watch his old WCW stuff, he was a character.
Yeah, totally, man.
And it was just a pleasure to be able to sit with him. But yeah, whether it's a veteran or a smart mark, I get offended when people say that.
Of course,
really
because that's your baby.
Yeah,
that whole
no one didn't throw that to me.
Yeah.
You know, it was my idea.
Your creation, everything.
You know? And unless you get a machine behind you, you know, our careers are controlled by a pencil, so they can pencil you in and pencil you out.
Right.
So Larry was there doing commentary. So he complimented me after the show about my three-way with James Storm and Brian Cage, and he said, "Oh, you know, I really enjoyed the match and everything." I said, "Yeah, I know. We didn't have much time, so it was kind of a sprint in there." So my big thing is selling. Selling is key. So on my social media. Real Fred Rosser. I'm always like throwing
Steamboat.
Yeah, I'm always throwing up. Watch Steamboat. Watch Brett Armstrong.
Yeah.
Watch Randy Orton. Selling is key because anyone can do the moves, you know. But it's the stuff you do in between.
Yeah.
So and that's what I was focused on. Like I feel like I was telling a friend on social media, he was saying, "Oh, you should be wrestling every weekend." And it's like, I'm like the Black Undertaker. You know? I wrestle like every time you see me.
It's an attraction.
Yeah, it's attraction. He looks better physically.
Yes.
He's nice and tan.
Yeah.
He's oiled up. He's moving well.
Yeah.
So, but
in that case, you're also the Black Sting.
the Black Sting,
Yeah.
Black Sting. But you're a Sting guy. I'm a Taker guy.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Taker,
true.
when that bell rings, you know those hands are up.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all in all, it was a great weekend.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
And yeah, it is the first time I wore the Block the Hate Championship Legacy title out there.
Yeah.
One fan on social media said, "Oh, your first match back and you have a title?" And I'm saying to myself, "You fucking moron." It's a Block the Hate Championship title. If you look at it, it's not a real title, but what titles are real?
Right.
I mean, come on. This isn't the NFL or boxing or UFC.
Yeah. If you didn't know this, here's a little trivia. The Intercontinental Championship is not real. Pat Patterson made that for himself. Just like Zack Ryder's Internet Championship.
Bro, are you serious?
And it became legitimate, yeah. So, you can't, like you said, you can't say that because every championship was made.
This is a quote right here.
Yeah.
And this championship, the Block the Hate Legacy, was made from the grassroots, right?
Yeah.
Grassroots. And
will you ever put it on the line?
Yeah, every day I put it on the line. Every day I put it on the line because every day my feet touch the ground, someone's counting on me.
Yeah.
So whether it's in the ring or outside the ring, I'm always defending it. I'm the superhero for the community and beyond.
You like how I set that up for you?
Yeah, of course, man. That's a 1 minute. That's a 1 minute fucking teaser right there, man. Boom, write that into what the Block Date Legacy Championship means. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I hear you.
I'll put it on the line, but you could win it, you could lose it, but I don't lose. You know why?
Why?
Because you either win or you learn.
Oh,
okay? You either win or you learn. So I don't lose. So you ask me, also, you're going to put that on the line? Yeah.
That needs to be a shirt.
So what if you lose? I don't lose. Damn. I either win or I learn, baby.
You got to trademark that ASAP.
Okay, well, we got it in the can here, so.
But before we go further, I just want to quickly say thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're listening to us...
bills.
Yes. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure you guys give us a 5-star review. And let me know down in the comment section below what other ways we can make this podcast better. But with that said, this is something I haven't done before.
Well, hold on, because you know how to get us back on track, but today's is the Smackdown shirt that I got on.
Yes, I'm rocking the Bullet Club, OG Bullet Club.
That's competition right there.
Yeah.
That's competition. What's better?
There's no better. It's different.
Exactly.
It's different. But like I said earlier, I haven't done this before, but I just want to quickly read some of our reviews on our iTunes.
Okay.
I want to give you guys all...
I don't like this.
No, it's all great. This is all shout outs to all our fan members out there. This one is from Bianca Riley, and she said, authentic, and it feels just like I'm sitting in the living room talking with friends. Congrats, guys. Oh, and by the way, I love the logo. It looks awesome. Thank you, Bianca. And we also got another one from Pro and Bro Fan that says, very cool, easy listening podcast. Bravo, Freddie and Arnold.
I think I've seen that one.
You seen that one?
Yeah.
This one you probably haven't seen. This is from, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but Doro Biala. I hope I'm saying that right, but he or she said, I can say I am proud to have meet Darren Young. Not only is his channel very awesome and this podcast, he's very nice, chill, relaxed person as well. Rock on, Darren Young. I will never forget when I saw you and Titus defeat the Usos brothers in 2015 in the Staples Center. Rock on and follow me on Twitter. Thanks, brother. And the last one, super special to me because...
You ain't got no hate on there?
No hate. No hate.
Oh, shit. Man, I love to hear some hate because you know what I do? I block that hate.
Yeah, you block it. But this one's special.
Okay.
I'm going to read it to you. My new favorite wrestling podcast, in parentheses. I promise I'm not just saying that because I'm married to Arnold. These two worked so hard on this podcast and I'm so proud of them. Can't wait to follow the Pro and Bro podcast journey.
Oh, goodness. I know exactly who that is. My heart, and this is my soul.
Yeah, man.
This is the soul of Pro and Bro Wrestling, and that is a comment from the heart herself. Yes, my beautiful wife Heart. But thank you guys so much for the reviews. And again, please leave us a review if you if you like what you hear, and I'll give you guys shout outs on our next episode. Arnold, this is our first female on Pro and Bro Wrestling, and I needed to get her right away before she continues to make a name for herself. Karissa Rivera. She was trained by the guy that trained me, Damian Adams. So a plethora of knowledge with Damian Adams. Karissa is, the moment I met her, bro, she stole my heart. I said, this girl.
Thank you. You're too sweet.
Yes, this girl needs to be on TV, and she's making moves. So, Karissa, thank you for being on Pro and Bro Wrestling. I always say, don't die with the story, and you tell it. So, I want my audience to be able to hear your story. And this is practice for me when I'm able to talk to people and be able to share my story. So, thank you for being with us.
No, thank you for having me. I feel honored, especially to be the first female on here.
Not only the first female, but the first second generation athlete. This is big for us too, shoot. So your father was Chief Cherokee, right?
So my father wrestled in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
He actually started when he was like 14 in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
And then he moved to New York. He moved to the Bronx when he was 18, and then he got signed by WWF. So in WWF, he wrestled as Steve King, but in Puerto Rico, he wrestled as Chief Cherokee.
Nice. And how was it growing up with your dad as a professional wrestler? Was it something that that you were always around, or did he kind of keep the business away from you?
So unfortunately, my father, he passed away when I was just 6 from leukemia. But I mean, it's like I was so young, but when certain things happen in your life, and even if you're really young, those certain things stick out and you remember them.
Yeah.
So even though I was 6, I remember before he passed away, before he got sick, he would always, like, we watched wrestling together in our house. He had like a little gym in the basement, so I used to go down there and watch him work out.
Wow.
And, like, measure his muscles and stuff, and we would watch wrestling. So I remember at a young age watching it and saying to myself, this is something that I want to do. It's crazy because then, as I got older, I kind of drifted away from it a little bit, but then it's crazy how the universe works and everything just kind of aligned and came back together.
Sure. This is going to be a hard question because I know my answer, but do you remember what was the first match that you ever watched? Because for me, it was Alex Wright on Saturday night, WCW's Saturday Night Live. Do you remember what was the first match that gravitated you into wrestling?
I was so young. I don't even remember the exact match that I watched.
Yeah, it's hard. That's amazing.
So I'm going back to Puerto Rico in November to wrestle there. I wrestled for the first time in Puerto Rico last year, and it was crazy because I brought my mom along with me. She traveled with my dad when he was in WWF, so she was around the whole business, and last year was the first time since my father passed that she actually went back to Puerto Rico.
Wow.
And now last time she was there was when my father wrestled there. So now it was her first time and her first time back in these many years, and now I'm wrestling. So it was very emotional, and it was awesome though.
That's like a movie. It's like full circle. That's really cool.
Hey, Karissa, you're stealing my gimmick because I like bringing my mom to a lot of my speaking engagements and to my wrestling matches.
She's so cool.
And you know what? The first time I seen you was at Team Adams Wrestling School, and my mom was with me, and she also said, her looking on the outside, not knowing anything, she said the minute that she laid eyes on you, she was like, wow, she is beautiful. And what impressed her the most, and my mom knows nothing about, the inside business, what impressed her the most is that she seen you in the ring with other guys, and you were leading. Yeah. And that's very, very rare to hear and to see. And I said to my mom, oh, you noticed that, huh? So I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, oh, that's good, Mom, that you noticed that not only she's beautiful, but she's leading. She's walking her co-workers, her homies that she's training with in the ring. She's leading. So that impressed my mom, and that impressed me the most.
Well, that's a good thing about training with Damian is that we do everything on the fly. But you know what? A lot of training academies, facilities, they don't really touch upon that. Yes. Before I started training with him, that was something so foreign to me. Like, I didn't even know what that meant. So now working with him, I get in the ring and, I could lead guys 10, 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and, the one thing I always stress is that I was trained just like Damian Hams to learn how to call stuff in the ring, but you also have to learn how to plan. So do both. So if the stuff that you have planned, if you have some hiccups in the ring, you know how to improvise. You know how to bring it down to the mat. So
Exactly.
that's very important. So I don't get on people about you're planning your stuff out, because some of the best do. The WrestleMania matches, all that stuff is planned out A through Z, But it's that in-between stuff that you need to learn how to improvise and not freak out. That's why you have such an amazing advantage.
Exactly. So when you know how to call things on the fly, it makes everything so much more easy because you're more comfortable when you're in the ring. So when you do plan stuff out, say something doesn't go as planned, or if the crowd is reacting a certain way and you need to improvise, it makes you're able to just focus on the detail instead of so much about the moves,
Yeah.
But Karissa, not only are you beautiful, but you have a bachelor's degree in global business. So she's beautiful and smart.
And that's hard, man. College is rough. And for
I do, man. So I have my degree in global business. I studied abroad at Cambridge University for a semester in college.
Wow.
I interned in Shanghai, China.
Jeez.
Got my firm out there for a summer while I was in college as well. So yeah, and I've worked in Manhattan at an asset management firm for 2 years. And then that's actually crazy. So I got broken into the business around the time when I was like 16 years old. The Wild Samoans, great friends of mine, they're the ones that broke me in. I started with them just interviewing the guys backstage. And then one day, Samu, he asked me, would you consider actually training? So I said, yeah, of course. I was always into sports and I loved wrestling. This is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I started training, and then I told myself, you know what? I need to get my degree. I need to focus on that.
Oh, good for you.
So I stopped wrestling for a few years.
Yeah.
I went to school. I got my degree. I worked in the finance industry for 2 years, and then I was there, and I was making good money, but I said to every day, waking up to go to work, it wasn't me. I just knew something, right? And I knew that wrestling was my true passion, and I'm not getting any younger, So I told myself, if this is really what I want to do, and I don't want to live with any regrets, and this is the time that I need to take advantage of that and see what I can make of it. So It's been about 2 years now that I've been back consistently just focusing on wrestling.
Right. And I think that's really cool, because in a way, like, when you decided to get your degree, it wasn't, at least the way you're explaining it to me right now, I didn't get the feel where you're like, oh, I'm going to give up on my dreams and do this. You just feel like this is something else that you also need to do. And it's cool because it's not like time wasted you getting this degree, because you can use it later on and after your wrestling career. I mean, look at Glenn Jacobs, right? He's always been into politics, and now he's embracing that full force as like the mayor.
Exactly.
You never know where the future will bring you, and just to have that as a backup, because you know what, reality is it's a physical contact sport. Like people get hurt. So you never know what the future can hold. So just to have that as a backup plan, I feel like, I made the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Karissa, I'm always, damn well, I'm always rooting for you. But to not only be beautiful, to have an athletic background, to have a degree in global business, it helps in wrestling too, because, you might be doing media and you know how to speak different languages, and like you go overseas to connect with other organizations and tell them that you wrestle. It's just like, that's a total package right there, because, Stephanie McMahon, she's a brand ambassador, so she goes to these global business summits and shares her story. So that's something in the future I hope you will be doing.
I hope so. And you know what? Like, being able to go to other countries, and being that I've experienced going to other countries and seeing how other cultures are, I know kind of how to adapt in certain situations, so I feel like that definitely gives me an advantage as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Damian Adams, your trainer, my trainer. I still go to 17 plus years in the business. Who are some wrestlers, men or female, that he's told you to watch?
So I watch Ted DiBiase, Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair, all of the greats.
Yeah.
You know, and we focus mainly on. We watch matches. Sometimes he sends us matches that are like from the 30s, 40s, you know, from Japan, you know, just to see basic psychology. We watch matches that are from 5 minutes long. He'll send us matches that are like an hour long, but he wants us to really watch them and study it and look at the formula and, again, pay attention to all of that little detail in between, because that's what really makes you stand out from the rest of the bunch. You know, especially nowadays, there's so many talented females out there.
Yeah.
So as a female, now I need to figure out how am I going to stand out amongst all of them.
Right.
And, you know, just by watching a lot of the Japanese stuff, you learn how to not to sell, but not to oversell, you know, how to take strikes and, like, you know, register it, you know, but not oversell. So, you know, you can take a little bit from the 30s and on. Are there any, like, girls, women wrestlers, divas that you've watched in the past, like someone like Ivory or Jackie or anyone of that era?
Trish Stratus, right?
I really liked Trish Stratus. that was, I know that's like a basic, like.
No, not at all, not at all.
But I really loved her, and I liked how she's so athletic. I mean, now even when she comes back and makes appearances, like, she still has it.
Yeah.
You know, she still can go.
Absolutely.
That's amazing to me. But right now, like, one of the females that I really do admire, I admire Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
And she can go, and she's beautiful, but that's what I like about the business, how it's progressed, is that it's changed where it's not so much about being like a sex symbol. Like, you're also an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, just like the guys, you know.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about Trish Stratus too, growing up, is because, you know, she was so ahead of the time back when it was bra, like, you know, being a kid raised in the Attitude Era, back when there was like bras and panties matches. I feel like the women that was holding it down was like Jacqueline, Ivory, Trish, Lita. You know, if all of them are wrestling right now in this women revolution era, that they would have been even like more amazing, because they would have more opportunities now than they did back then.
I know. Yep.
You know, what have been some of your opportunities recently? What was your most recent or your first recent opportunity with WWE NXT? When was that, and how was that?
So my first time working with NXT was actually almost about exactly a year ago, last October. And I had the opportunity to go down there, and I was given the opportunity to have a match against Lacey Evans, who now, you know what, she is such an awesome person, and it's so amazing to see how successful she is. She's awesome. And yeah, so I had a match against her on NXT, and it was like a dream come true, you know, being down there and watching all the people in the developmental center. That's where I want to be. So I felt, and you know what, I felt comfortable. I felt like right at home.
And I think that's really cool, because I heard that story before, but at that time you didn't even know that you're supposed to wrestle that night, right? It was just kind of like in the fly, and then like, and it was it's a tape.
You find out that day. You get there, ready, whatever, and yeah, they came up to me last minute and asked me if I could do it, and obviously, of course.
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity, and it was amazing, man. It was really amazing.
That's awesome. And speaking of Lacey Evans, I think the thing that really separates her from a lot of the girls in WWE right now is her, like how she keeps kayfabe like really hard. Like I think she posted this on her Instagram account. I just saw this recently, but she got a speeding ticket.
I saw that.
And she was in character as Lacey Evans, like fully like cutting a promo on the police officer, and that was so awesome. That was so great.
Wow.
I gotta show you that one. That was really funny. She's like, "Do you know who I am?"
Wow.
I mean, she really is like the definition of a strong woman. Like, she has her daughter, you know, and she was ex-military, so she's cool.
Yeah, so you see how she's got an awesome portfolio that's just so authentic. You know, you have the same thing going for yourself. So, like I said, I'm always rooting for you. what kind of feedback can you say that you got from WWE? We all get feedback. Was it feedback? Slow down or be more aggressive. I mean, you can touch on it a little bit if you want.
I got positive feedback. I've been down there a few times. I've worked with them. I have some stuff coming up soon.
Good.
It was just keep on working on footwork, and just when I went down there, I was the Cherokee Warrior.
Yes.
And the thing that they asked me is if I would feel comfortable doing something other than that gimmick. Mm-hmm. Because nowadays, which is understandable, it could be very controversial.
Yes.
So, and the reason I was doing the Cherokee Warrior gimmick was, again, back to my father, because he wrestled as Chief Cherokee. So I kind of took it on in honor of him. So I had the whole headdress and all, but now I'm trying to transition out of that and just try to be more like who I am outside of the ring, just amplified, make it more authentic,
Yeah.
And you do that, you move on, you keep making moves, and then you can go right back to embracing who you are. So don't say never say never, because once you get established and all that other good stuff happens to you, you can always go back to it and bring the your heritage out to light and expose it in a positive way.
Yes, I agree.
What are your thoughts of NXT now being highlighted as a full-on legitimate show? Well, not that it wasn't legitimate, but now that it's off of the
now
WWE Network.
USA,
yeah.
This is huge. This is huge for NXT.
Oh, yeah.
It'll give so much opportunity to all the guys that have been down there in the Performance Center busting their ass for years. Now they have a chance to be on TV, you know? So it's awesome. I'm so happy for all of them down there and all the people that are getting opportunities. And you know what? It opens up more doors for people that are trying to get in. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I keep telling Fred, this is such a great time to be a wrestling fan because there's just a gluttony of like wrestling products out there, and also a great time to be a wrestler too because there's so many, like you said, so many opportunities and all these different companies. Like now, WWE is no longer the the end game. Now people number one priority is to go to either New Japan or AEW, and that's their dream, which is really cool. It just opens up so many opportunities for a lot of people.
There's so many different opportunities out there. And this year alone, I have been very fortunate to have worked not only with NXT, I was able to work with Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate this year, and I'm just, keeping all of my options open because there are so many incredible opportunities out there.
Yeah. Down the line, do you want to stay in one company though? Is there a dream company that you want to like be in, like for maybe a chunk of your career? Or do you like how things are right now?
You know what? Obviously my dream is to be with WWE.
Of course. Yeah.
But you know what? Being that all these companies are doing so well right now, I'm keeping my options open, and whatever comes my way, whatever's meant to be will be.
Yeah.
So whatever my path takes me on, I'm open to it.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it. You just got to be open to life. That's really cool.
You can't be closed-minded and just focus on one specific thing because there's so many other things out there.
Absolutely.
Have you dealt with any injuries? How does your body feel? I always ask that with our guests. Like, how do you feel? I know I feel great. How do you feel?
Oh my goodness. Well, knock on wood, I have not had any injuries.
Yes.
We'll knock on wood too.
So I try. Damian, again, when we're out training, he tries to save our bodies. So we try not to do crazy, excessive bumps that are just unnecessary,
Yeah.
And then when I'm at shows, based off of the way that I'm trained by Damian, again, it's working smarter when you're in the ring, knowing when to do certain things and knowing when to maybe maybe that's a little unnecessary for this show, so let's kind of put that off because so I'm very fortunate. My body, I have not had any injuries, and I just try to stretch a lot, do hot yoga. I got one of those hyperized guns that massage you, all those little like recovery things.
Me too. I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver.
Those are the best.
Good. I enjoy you and my girl Steele's Damian Adams, the other student, I love you guys. You know, you guys are like my number one. I love to see your battles with her.
Yeah. Her and I have wrestled a few times, and we have great matches. That's for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, and the opposite in characters and the aggressiveness. Yeah. I love it. So I always say my goal is to outsell my opponent, and that's my the person I'm in the ring with. His goal should be to outsell my opponent, and at the end of the day, like, it's a beautiful match because we're making each other look good.
Exactly. That's the main thing. You take care of each other in there.
Besides Lacey Evans, who else have you worked out with that you felt that you have learned from, you have benefited from on the independents?
On the independents, well, you know what? Before Deanna got signed, she was still at Damian's for a little bit, so I was very fortunate to have worked with her. I mean, not as much because shortly after I started training there full time, she got signed. But just getting some of the knowledge from her. Sumi Sakai, she's also really awesome. She's been in this industry for so long, and she has so much knowledge. So I had a match against her a few months ago with Ring of Honor, and just being able to work with someone who's a legend, you know, in this industry as a female Japanese, it was an honor, and I learned a lot from her.
Yes, and those matches, I saw it. That match you should watch all the time and learn what can I do to improve. But everything in it was great. You know, no overselling. Everything was just nice and tight and snug the way it should be. So, like I said, keep it on.
Yeah, and working with her, being able to work with somebody, again, who has been in this industry for so long, but it was, you know, she is Japanese. She does speak English, but there was a little bit of a language barrier.
Sure.
So, you know, that was something that definitely helped me grow as a wrestler, being able to get in the ring with somebody where sometimes, you know, when you're talking in there, sometimes you can't understand your opponent.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge that I had to overcome, and it went well.
Yeah, I know that Trish Stratus was someone that you looked up to for a female wrestler. How about a male wrestler? Is there anyone that maybe like in the attitude area that you looked up to growing up?
Male wrestler, you know, my favorite, honestly, growing up, I love The Undertaker.
Nice.
Oh my God, Undertaker. Every time his entrance music and everything comes on, it gives me chills.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like, he does, if you think about it, like his entrance, he's literally walking so slow.
Right.
But even though he's doing so little, it's getting such a big reaction.
Yeah.
So that's something to learn from, you know, how to attract the crowd and just draw them in and make them interested, get them invested in you.
Right, and that's what I also love about Undertaker too, because every movement means something. Even his little like head turns, like he does everything with a purpose. It's so great. And you're right, like me too. Even like as a kid, like having someone who's that tall walking on a tight rope, you know, like no one does that. Like so much like skills and agility.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That's cool. If he's a favorite of yours, you should definitely, maybe in the future, maybe walk the rope and do something different. Walk something different. Walk and hit something different, like that he doesn't do, or do the leg drop off the apron. Some of these trademark stuff, but do it something where if you can flip and hit a leg drop on the apron, like, I don't know, you know, like, try it out, you know. So it's almost you paying homage to one of your favorites.
Yeah, pay homage and then also make it into your own.
Yes, absolutely.
Make it into your own. That's why still to this day on the independents, now that I'm back on the independents, I use King of Rock by Run DMC, which used to be one of Damian Adams' theme, and I just loved it. I vibed to it so much, and plus I was a big fan of him because he was my trainer, and I still throw punches like him, so that's just like paying homage to Damian and his crazy ass.
Do you still have a dream opponent right now, or do you feel like you've wrestled everyone you wanted to wrestle with at this point?
I'd like to. I mean, I definitely would like to get more reps in and have the opportunity to wrestle more people on the independent scene for sure. I definitely don't think that I have exceeded all of what I've wanted to accomplish yet.
Nice.
Well, I hope you're on that one fundraiser show that I'm doing for Lewis. It's like sometime in November.
I know. You know, I was supposed to be on it. It was supposed to be November 16th, and then the date got changed, and that's actually the time, unfortunately, that, unfortunately, but then not unfortunately, but I'm going to be in Puerto Rico doing a show that Saturday. It's going to be November 3rd now.
Yes.
I know, I was looking forward to seeing you out there. I haven't seen you in a while.
Damn it. I want to see you work. I want to be on a solid show and watch you work, but I'm glad you're going to be out there making moves. I'm actually postponing a trip to Singapore to actually whoop up on Ray Jazz's ass, so I'm very excited to do that. And my whole goal, if I was a girl, I'd fucking want to work you. My whole goal with Ray Jazz is to make him shine.
Yes.
And I'm gonna do that. Him being the amateur wrestler, I'm gonna make him look good and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, he's another one. He's doing really well. He just started with us a little over a year ago, and Ray Jazz, he's progressing really, really well, getting his name out there. So I'm happy for him.
Hell yeah. You know, I know time is money, you know, so I'm definitely happy that we were able to get you on Pro Wrestling and help share your story and all that other good stuff. What's the biggest piece of advice that you would want to give to any up and coming wrestler, or what's like your message to the world that identifies with you?
My message is, you know what, things worth happening don't happen that easy, and sometimes going through this whole process of trying to get my name out there, trying to get somewhere in my career, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. Some days are great, and then there's some weeks, you know, where things aren't so great. And sometimes I get down on myself and I start to doubt myself. But you know what? At the end of the day, you keep that end goal in mind and you just keep pushing for it. As long as you just keep striving for your main goal, no matter those obstacles, that's what's going to build you up and make you stronger in the end.
Yeah.
You know, it all has a purpose. So if you have something that you want to achieve in life, no matter what it is, no matter what the obstacles, just keep on pushing, man, because it'll pay off. Work hard, and hard work pays off.
Yes, exactly. And you know my story. I started from the bottom with Lewis doing the independent, so I'm a perfect example of someone that you can contact anytime and be like, oh, I'm struggling with this or that or whatever, you know. I know Deanna used to do it, and I would see her backstage at WWE, and I would always give her advice, and she would let me know who's flirting with her, and I would be like, just don't pay these guys no damn mind. Just do what you got to do. I know how it is. I know how it is. So she would always get a hold of me, and Lewis would never tell me when she would be backstage. I'd be like, Lewis didn't tell me you were gonna be here. So I always looked out for her. I know if you're ever up at WWE and you see Bennett, he's gonna look out for you too. So you got me and Bennett, so that's all that matters.
Thank you.
But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I know time is money, like I said. Thank you for being on Pro Wrestling, and definitely we would love to have you on in the future. I wanted to get you on now because when you get big, like when you get big and stuff like that, I don't want you to forget about me.
Of course not. Stop it.
Because Sasha Banks, I love Sasha Banks. When I was up on the road and she was still down at NXT, a fan had asked me on an interview, who do I think is the next woman to come up? And I said Sasha Banks, my girl from the Boston area, and look at her now. So hopefully I will definitely be saying the same thing about you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on here. This is an honor.
Yes,
thank you so much, Karissa. Appreciate it.
Like I said, don't die with a story and you tell it. So thank you very much, Karissa, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, take care.
Peace out.
Bye.
And so our first woman,
yes.
not diva, first
Mm-mm.
woman on Pro Wrestling, Karissa is making major moves, and I'm glad that we were able to have her on Pro Wrestling. So now we got to have more girls to share their stories and all that good stuff.
She's a great athlete, and I just love her look, her ring gear, how she pays homage to her dad, and her background and her roots and everything. And yeah, man, she's
beautiful. And I should have said from the very beginning when I announced her to pause the video or pause the iTunes and look her up, Google her. Karissa Rivera, because she is gorgeous, man. She's gorgeous, and she's leading.
She's talented.
She's talented, and she's leading the men in the ring, and that's what it's all about. So I'm very happy that she was on Pro Wrestling.
So I want to talk about certain stuff that's been happening in the world of mainly WWE, really. But they're all very new, fresh things, I feel like. On last episode of Smackdown, did you see that Brock Lesnar interfered? Not really interfered. He had a surprise incident with Kofi Kingston. And it was, I thought that was a really cool moment because like Kofi told Biggie and Xavier, like, look, I got this, you know? And again, that makes it real. You never really like see that. It's kind of like, oh, this is like a man-to-man type of thing. Like you tell your bros, like, I got this one.
Man, I wouldn't have done that.
I know.
I would not have done that. After being involved in a pull-apart with Brock, I mentioned it on here, rehearsing the pull-apart, and he was going live. I said, no, I'm going to go with The Undertaker at the time. I'm going to pull him apart. That's just me being scary.
No, sure. You being a smart human, that's what it is.
But, hey, strength in numbers. I need my crew. But, hey, hats off to Kofi,
But Brock is legitimately so scary. Anything that he does is so scary because when he entered the ring, he was acting all smiles to Kofi, and he extended his hand. And as soon as he got Kofi's hands, boom, F5. So fast, within a snap of your finger, and he laid Kofi out.
And that debut show, right? Is that going to be the matchup?
Yeah, I don't know, but you know what?
Because if it is, hey.
That's going to be great. I know, you're right. It should have been
quick.
It's 2 days ago, I finally saw the first commercial for SmackDown on Fox, and I saw the new SmackDown logo. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore, and it's even not the one that's a SmackDown Live. They changed the logo.
Wow.
It's kind of, it looks like, I don't know, it's new. I'm not used to it yet, but it's like blocky, I guess. But in the commercial, they also showed The Rock, so I don't know if The Rock's gonna be there.
Oh, it's LA, man. Of course.
And it's his show.
I hope so. So maybe he could be there to pass the baton on to someone else, you know?
Yeah. Who do you think it would be? Excuse me. That was a good one.
Who would he pass the baton on to? Roman Reigns.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You know, Roman Reigns. Pass it on to him. Do something. Lay the smackdown on someone.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these guys. Him, Austin. They look great.
Better than they were in their prime.
Yeah. I'd love to see a dream three-way. Now I'm calling out The Rock, Austin, and who would be the third one, man?
It would make sense if it's Triple H because that was the era. Or Angle.
Okay.
Or Angle, you know?
Yeah, man. Oh, they can still go.
Yeah.
And be healthy. Not have to... Austin is just brawling. And The Rock is just pretty much brawling too.
The Rock is... He's a technical guy, though.
Oh, he's got the DDT, the spinning DDT.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And also the Chinese get-up.
Oh, the nip-up?
Yeah.
I call it the nip-up.
The nip-up. Yeah, I think that's what Shawn calls it, too.
Yeah, that could be good.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Now, four-way is too much. You throw Shawn Michaels in there. Shawn Michaels is done.
Wouldn't it be easier, though, for them if it was a four-way? Wrestling-wise?
Personally, I don't like three-ways.
Okay,
I was involved in a three-way in my first match, and I'm like, oh my goodness, because you got to remember the other guy's spots. You got to remember your spots, when to come in, when to settle down. It's just like, and they're quick too.
Yeah,
they're quick too. So timing's got to be on. But these guys, Brian Cage said, he loves doing three-ways. I'm like, oh goodness.
It's still stressful as an adult knowing how wrestling works because as a kid, I just thought like the bell rings and we'll play. Let's play. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I mean that's how me and my friends did it. Like we put on like little like fun matches, and we don't say like I'm gonna pin you, you're gonna pin me. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Bro, and sorry to change subjects.
No.
I found some old wrestling. I I'm in the process of renewing my passport, so I was looking for some paperwork.
Yeah.
And I found some DVDs that I had given to the initial NXT. They wanted footage of me as a baby. They wanted footage of me, and you saw it on my story.
Oh my God.
They wanted footage of me doing backyard wrestling, and I was watching like my backyard wrestling stuff. And this is like me in 11th grade, so that was probably like 2001. Mm-hmm. And like it's like 18 or so years later, 19 or so years later, I'm like, I kind of look the same.
You do.
I'm like, I punched a guy and I'm like this. I'm like, man, I'm like, why was I doing? I had no experience like in the ring. I was in high school, you know? But I was a huge fan of watching tape study. Why are guys doing certain things? So
I think, you know,
I was just as good then
Yeah.
as I am like now, so to speak. So like backyard wrestling, I'm selling, and like my promos are on there too from when I was like doing promos like Shane Douglas, trying to deepen my voice. So I got to show you that footage.
Yeah, man. And I think, you know, I think Big Cass said this before, and I think it's true. I've always known this to be true, but I just never thought about it. If you've been a wrestling fan ever since you were a kid, you kind of, there's something in you that just gets it, right?
Yes.
Like you watch it all the time.
Yes.
I'm sure, like at least for me, like I play around with my friends and pillows. You always imagine yourself to be a wrestler.
Yes.
So when you actually get to do it, you kind of know what you're doing a little bit more than someone who just hop in from football.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you also, speaking of your Instagram story, you also showed, this is like intense, deep stuff because it's just like watching a movie. But you showed, was it your dad?
My dad?
Your dad, like at the age of, you were like 3 years old? 2 or something like 3,
2.
maybe 2?
Oh, no, I think I had just maybe turned 1.
Oh my God.
I just turned
At the
1.
age of 1, there's a video footage of his
1985.
dad giving him an immortal Hulk Hogan action figure. And it's just crazy because you know what's going to happen 35 years later. But you see this 1-year-old kid holding a Hulk Hogan doll. And I'm like, I'm witnessing like a movie right now. This is not made up. This is a real life movie. This is crazy. And you're just like holding it. And like 5 seconds later, you're over it.
Yeah. Well, I was biting it too.
Yeah.
And then there's a moment where I put it down, and my mom's filming, and I come over to her to get right in her face in front of the camera because I want to be on camera. You know? And how cool of it, and of course I'm going to save this footage, obviously.
Yeah.
How cool would it be is you use this footage and my face is right in the camera as a kid, and then it flashes forward to like what I am now.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's golden footage that I'm going to definitely keep, and it'll be part of my documentary. Should.
It's just like these videos of like Shawn Michaels holding a fake championship, like pretending to be in the cover of Ric Flair's like magazine when he was 12, because he there's I guess it was an NWA magazine or whatever, but there's like Ric Flair was in the cover and he's wearing a suit and he has his forehead like patched up.
Yes.
And then at the age of maybe like I think Shawn was like probably in high school, but he recreated that picture. Like he's wearing a suit and he had his forehead patched up.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
But man, like, and again, like things like Seth Rollins wrestling with his wrestling buddies, like Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, and he's like, I'm a WWE champion, you know, or WWF champion, and like years later, he's like main eventing WrestleMania.
Well, I'm glad I was able to, find the footage or stumble upon it. So, but it's just very funny. But I have to show you the backyard wrestling stuff.
Yeah,
it's just like, it's incredible. The way I moved then, I still move now.
Yeah. Another thing that I want to talk about is Rusev is back.
Yeah.
Rusev is back, and he's back with a mustache.
Yeah, and he's also back working with some of the Wild Samoans too at Rikishi's school in LA.
Oh, that's where he got his start.
Yeah, that's where he got his start. So he was there working with some of the kids recently, giving back, you know.
Nice.
And I put over Rusev on Rikishi's Instagram, in the school's Instagram. I said, there's absolutely nobody out there that stalks their prey and like goes in on anybody like Rusev, you know?
Wow.
So I said hashtag notebook in hand, you know what I mean? So if you see him come in, you better have your notebook, man, and you better write notes down. I can go back to my old my old notebook and get see notes from Dean Malenko,
Yeah.
Regal, everybody. You know, you're new. You better have your notebook because Rusev knows how to stalk his prey.
That's great.
There's nobody that does it better, and he looks great. And yeah, he's back. And of course, you want to say, oh, he's sporting a mustache.
But no, I say that like it's epic. Like it's epic. I was a fan when Robert Roode rocked the mustache, but yeah, he's leaner and you know, I think he's healthier than ever. Mm-hmm. I'm just interested to see where the storyline is gonna go because he came in as the alleged father of Maria Kanellis' baby, and man, I don't know. I'm glad that Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis is definitely getting some amazing TV time, and but you know, let's pretend that the characters are real. Like I just feel so much for Mike. You know, he I don't. This is the thing that I just don't appreciate. Like in 205 Live. Their relationship was super lovey-dovey, and I dig that. Like, I love their brand. I love that they're, like, mushy in love and all that. But the general audience doesn't really get to see that. I'm sure not a lot of people watch 205 Live, so they don't really know their story, their characters, that's their thing. And when they're on Raw, automatically, she turned on him. Without giving the general audience maybe like at least a week of like, oh look guys, like they were like madly in love, so the turn can mean more, it'll be more meaningful, you know. And out of nowhere she just treats him like crap, and I'm like, where's this coming from? Because I've seen how they are in 205 Live. There's no one incident that caused this.
I get it. When they were saying 1 week Titus and I are rah rah rah, and next week he's breaking up with me, I'm like, hold on a second, I don't mind a breakup, but just so abruptly, like shit, like that's why when I hear stuff like that,
but again, like I'm interested to see how this goes because the storyline is that he's the father of Mia's baby, and again. It's his character is also married to Lana, so we'll see where that goes. But you just feel bad because when Mike thought that there was Ricochet, he was all like heated, you know, and he wanted to wrestle Ricochet in that moment, and then he lost. And then Rusev came out, and he's the real father, and Mike was just like, you know what? I just wrestled a match. I'm not looking to fight. If this is really true. Congratulations, you know, and it just makes him look like a chump. But like, if that's what it is, then like, okay, cool, like let's go with that. But I hope that there's a big payoff at the end because it's all so weird. And as a guy, you just hate seeing another guy being like chopped down like that, like his ego being chopped down and taking his manhood away. So we'll see, man. But I'm just glad that Rusev is back.
I'm happy he's back too, and I'm happy he's giving back too.
Yeah, that's true. He is giving back big time. I'm telling
you, when he first came up on the roster, who was his first match? Who was his first dark match?
Was it you?
Bingo.
Really?
Yeah. So and he was a lot heavier.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So I was like, oh man, I'm doing a dark match. Well, hey man, I want to make sure I'm there for you on X, Y, and Z. I want to make you look good. You make me look good, and of course he got the W on me.
Did he wear shoes at this point?
No, nope. He was barefoot and everything. But
I thought he was Samoan at first because I thought the tattoo on his back was like a Samoan tribal tattoo.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that. But yeah, he just moves so. Moves so good for his size.
Yeah.
Moves so good. He can do a spin heel kick. I can't do any flying, jumping stuff in the air yet. Never say never. I go to Santino's to kind of try some stuff out. I think this week I'll probably go there to maybe try some offensive stuff.
Dude,
out.
if you go this week, I want to go.
Yeah, I know. I got to figure out the times and stuff like that. But I definitely want you to come. But there, I might want to work on some offensive stuff.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people that are just getting into this business, they want to immediately do the offensive stuff.
Yeah.
You got to sell first. Sell, offense.
Yeah.
Sell, offense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And also, Rusev's been working out a lot at Sheamus's house in his gym.
Yeah. Well, they're like damn near neighbors.
Yeah.
And they're good friends too. I love those guys. So they're like good friends, man. Really good friends, really good people.
Remember when they were in a faction together? Or what's it called again? Something, the Legions. Oh man, Nation.
Yeah.
Legions or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that her?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I liked it, and I think who was in it?
Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, Wade Barrett.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because it's like from different countries.
That was really cool.
And all those guys are like, to me that's a dope faction.
Yeah,
that's
top dogs of all countries.
Yeah,
right?
they can compete with the Dangerous Alliance, the Four Horsemen. Like, if you were to talk,
if they lasted longer,
yeah,
they'll definitely create an impact for
Yeah,
sure.
of course, and it's different too. It's different.
They could have been, you're right. They could have been like the heel version. Not to say the Four Horsemen weren't heel because they were also heel, but like a more dominant Four Horsemen size wise. And they could have what if you give them all world championships? Just like remember when TNA they had the Main Event Mafia.
Yeah.
That worked because they were all former world champions.
Sting, Booker T.
Scott Steiner, and Kevin Nash.
Yeah, man,
that was dope.
I love that group. A lot.
And they wear a suit.
They wore a suit.
And then that's my favorite look of Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, he was very. He was also thinner too.
He was lean, and he also had the stubbles, and he kind of grew out the stubbles in his head.
Yes.
It kind of made him look like an action hero, you know?
Yeah.
In badass movies.
Absolutely.
But man, that was a great faction. But again, like Rusev, welcome back. I'm curious to see where this is gonna take us. It should be fun.
One thing about Rusev outside of the ring, he would always bust my balls because, like me, this past weekend, you know who out of 20, 25 guys on the show, and you're there early and you're staying over, you know who the gym guys are. Mm-hmm. The gym guys were me and Brian Cage. Those are probably the only ones that went to the gym like before the show.
Yeah.
So on the road with WWE, it would be like me, Sheamus, Rusev, and every time Rusev would see me in the gym, I sweat. You see how I sweat?
Yeah.
And like he would follow me around the gym, and he'd be like, "You gonna clean up that sweat?" I said, "I'm not cleaning up that sweat off the floor, man."
Yeah.
And he's like, "You know good, you."
That's funny.
So he would always harass me. He would always, seriously, bro. He would always harass me about the sweat on the floor. I said, "I'm not. I wipe the machines off." But he would be like right there. I turn, he's right there.
He's like the gym patrol,
bro.
With the flashlight.
He is, and that's, I guarantee you, if if I show that to him, he'll comment on it.
That's funny, man. Another thing that WWE's doing is obviously creating a team of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
I say, I like it.
I like it too, but the thing that was really funny, and I feel like Zack Ryder needs to get credit for this, he left a comment that's saying, like, if this team is not called Rudolph, then what's the point? So it's funny, man. Like, Rudolph, like, that's perfect. You get it, right?
Yeah, I do.
Like
I did Rude and Dolph.
Yeah.
Rudolph. Yeah, I mean, gosh.
But,
I mean, he better get a check. Just like Ric Flair better get a check, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, I think that's settled, by the way.
Oh, it's settled?
Because he was backstage in WWE on the last, like, show.
Yeah, I'm sure, like...
And he's all in good terms with Charlotte, and he's taking pictures with Offset. Offset wore the robe on SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, I mean... before that, it was all over the internet.
Yeah, TMZ, man.
Oh,
but I guess it's settled. I'm sure it doesn't damage WWE to pay Rick his percentage. But speaking of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, I do enjoy it because like they do work well together. Rudolph, yeah. But for me, like I'm an old-fashioned guy, so I like my tag teams to be tag teams. So if you're gonna like put them together, like how you put Cesaro and Sheamus, like that worked because they became a legitimate tag team. You know, they had a name. It wasn't like two names mashed together like Breezango. They were called the Bar, and they had matching outfits. Like I dig that. Like I'm not against them being tag team, but I want them to be a tag team. Don't let it be a phase. Like how like Chad Gable was mixed in with so many different tag teams.
Yeah.
with Robert Roode and Shelton Benjamin and all that.
Oh, he's a stud, man. Him and I follow each other at Chad Gable.
Oh, yeah.
We follow each other on social media, and he's a stud, man. He's
the real deal, man. He has those, like, cauliflower ears.
Oh, I love it. I wish I had it, man.
That's
Anyone
gross,
with
dude.
cauliflower ears, you know not to mess with them.
I know. That's like a badge of honor.
Yeah, badge of honor. I wish I had it, man.
That's nuts.
I wish I had it, but
You know what's weird? Like, this is kind of a confession, I guess. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos of cauliflower ears getting drained.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
I don't know why, but it's so
that.
therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
Because it's so gross. I just want it to be like.
Oh, some guy was that had it was saying, "Oh man, you got to see it when it bursts. Like if you get hit in it."
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
I see that.
It happened to a UFC women fighter.
Oh,
she got roundhouse kick in the ear, and just like.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a badge of honor I wish I had. But yeah, he's just getting started, man. Chad Gable, he's just getting started.
So I heard Vince wants to give him a push.
Yeah.
That's why he was like
do it.
The last King of the Ring.
Yes.
Speaking of King of the Ring, Baron Corbin is the King of the Ring.
And I know the people hate that. The people hate that, but years to come, they're gonna be like, "Wow, man, we hated this guy," just like Kurt Angle. You know, people legitimately didn't like him.
Yeah.
Until Vince and the people pushed him down their throats, and it just went with it. You suck was like an insult, man, and it turned into something
A respect.
a respect.
Yeah.
A respect thing. So yeah.
It's getting there already for Baron because there's someone mentioned it, I think it was like What Culture, that they're starting to chant his name.
Yeah, see?
Because they see him like putting in the work.
Exactly.
And it's like the heel that they want to cheer now.
And you know, when I was coming back from maybe my knee, like maybe 6 years ago. I don't know how long ago, maybe 6 years ago. With my knee, when I was coming back and when I was down at the Performance Center.
Yeah.
Who was I working out with?
Baron?
I was working out
no
with him.
way.
I would actually ask for him, because when you go there, I wouldn't say it's like, me, I want to make sure that I'm getting in a good workout, you know? So if I'm familiar with someone, I'll say, "Oh, Norman's mine," or whoever's there. "Oh, can I work out with Baron?" Mm-hmm. And I know, and he's the type of guy where if he sees someone from WWE come in for rehab, like he probably wants to get out of the drills and work out with WWE guys, which is a smart thing, because you get to know, all right, this is what it's supposed to feel like. All right, this is the timing. You know what I mean? And that's how I learned being on the independents and working with guys like Stevie Richards. Oh, this is the intensity that it's supposed to be like. Charlie Haas, Bob Holly. This is how it's supposed to feel. That's how I learned. So I could see a couple times Baron would be looking over, and then like I would say to Norman, I said, "Oh, Norman, can I work out with this guy?" Yeah. And I would work out with him, and I loved the way he moved. Yeah, I loved, and he blew me up. He beat me up. I beat him up. Yeah, we had great workouts, so I always took a liking to him. And then when he got brought up to the main roster, he always took a liking to me.
It's funny because I was watching, I think it's a WWE original series on the WWE Network. I forgot, they don't do this anymore, but it was the early days of NXT when Baron Corbin and Mojo Rawley was still coming up the roster. And I think this is a shoot, and I think this is like a real life moment. I don't think they staged this, but they're definitely out of character, but they were in the WWE Performance Center, and Baron Corbin, like, this is a moment where he just got so annoyed at Mojo, because Baron was just like, he was talking about like how, he's like a lone wolf, like there's a footage of him just walking alone in the streets and all that, doesn't really like people, and he's in the Performance Center eating like a Chipotle like bowl, and you see Mojo just like messing with him, and Mojo goes up to him like, "Yeah, eat that food, eat that food," and then Baron's all like, "I am." He's like, "Yeah, you better eat that. Like, eat that burrito." And you just see like Baron legitimately like so annoyed of Mojo Rawley.
That would be me. Because I'm a quiet guy. I'm to myself, and like that would annoy the fuck out of me.
So
but that's like the stuff you see backstage.
Yeah,
that is like meaningful and memorable and fun.
Yeah.
But a couple times like Baron is Baron was so cool. We'd be in the locker room and like shit, like, you know, he's in my face. You know, put a towel on, bro. Like I'm like fuck, like don't be that comfortable with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just how it is.
Yeah,
it's just how it is.
Yeah.
But again, Baron was always cool with me. Always cool with me, and
he's crazy tall too. I saw him backstage with
crazy
you.
Crazy athletic, yeah.
Like, damn, dude, you're a big dude. Also, did you happen to see that post that Goldberg posted on his Instagram?
No, God, no, I didn't see. What?
Okay, so I think they're trying to stage it like it's like a real incident, but Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler was at the same steakhouse restaurant together.
Oh gosh.
And they almost broke out into a real fight. And of course, Goldberg's people's holding him back. Dolph's people's holding him back. So, but you just see Goldberg like charge out. Yeah, it's on his Instagram account. And Dolph's just like, "What? Do something! Do something!" And they're like, it looked legitimate. To be fair, it looked like a real TMZ like caught live moment. But of course, for Goldberg to post it on Instagram, like I don't know where they're gonna go with this. But Matt Riddle was like so pissed. He's like, man, that should have been me. He's like, why couldn't that be me?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really interesting. I don't know, man. Goldberg and Dolph I don't see it. So that's a fully loaded episode,
Fully loaded episode, man. You know, I got to share my experiences this past weekend, wrestling and doing the podcast. So, like I said, I feel accomplished.
Yeah.
We got to have Karissa Rivera on Pro Wrestling, first girl, and definitely not the last.
Yeah. And you know, technically, you said first girl, but your mom was technically our first.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's true. It all ties in together. My mom, as soon as she saw Karissa, was like, "Oh man, this girl's money."
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for her. We're all rooting for her.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Keep making moves, Karissa, and a pretty action-packed Pro Wrestling, baby.
It was a slobber knocker.
Here's a slobber knocker, baby. Here's a slobber knocker.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys stay tuned for next week's episode. And until then, we love you guys.
And block the hate and salute the great. Ho!
Ho!